What's going on, everyone? So, Bradley Beal has officially been bought out and is signing with the Los Angeles Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. So, this is something that we talked about that, look, if we're being honest, said this in every video I talked about with Bradley Beal, the Los Angeles Clippers, as well as the Milwaukee Bucks, were the two teams that made the most sense for Bradley Beal because he could easily move in and slot into that starting unit. Being honest, Clippers, it looked tough. Right? I mean, you're talking about a starting five of James Harden, Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, and Ivica Zubac with, Dunn. They have Nicholas Batum. They have Brook Lopez, Derrick Jones Jr., right? Like, they're a team that's going to be very good, very talented, and very flushed. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all kind of meshes together. One of the things that I talked about with the Clippers that would have had a lot of the same issues with the Lakers is just the fit of Bradley Beal, right? Yes, him slotting that starting unit makes a ton of sense. You got James Harden, you got Bradley Beal, right? But how does Bradley Beal kind of mesh with the, James Harden kind of operating as the point guard? That's fine. But, James Harden's going to have the ball in his hands. How much? Kawhi Leonard isn't really known as a passer. Is he going to be able to is Bradley Beal going to be able to mesh into that? If he does, Clippers are going to be tough, right? It's just like if he would have signed with the Lakers. If he would have signed with the Lakers, how would he have meshed with LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, right? They talked about, do the Lakers look to trade Austin Reeves if you go get Bradley Beal? All of these things would have been factors, right? The Milwaukee Bucks is the only team that I looked at and was like, if he wants to just go be Bradley Beal, slot in and get to be on ball, score the basketball, get back to being that 23, 5-5 guy, the Milwaukee Bucks was the team that made the most sense in that regard, but we knew he wanted to be in LA, wanted to be closer. His preferred trade destination was the Lakers. So it was like, okay, logically, if his preferred trade destination was the Lakers, why wouldn't, the buyout potential be the Lakers as well? But again, like the factors we talked about, right? Him coming off the bench. I talked about, well, if I'm Bradley Beal, I would look at it as I could give me to training camp and I could outplay, an Austin Reeves, right? So again, it's unfortunate. I really wanted Bradley Beal on the Lakers. Even despite all the issues and all the flaws and all the concerns, we talked about it very heavily on this channel, right? We had made several videos diving into it. But even then, the idea was it's such a low risk, high reward move. Talking about a guy that would have been 20 to still $30 million on the open market that you'd be getting for $5 million. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you make a move like that, right? And, even despite all the concerns about fit and all that stuff, at the end of the day, it's like you get it and you figure it out. You work it out. Bradley Beal off ball is better than all the guards we currently have off ball. So there was a sense of hey, this could work. This could make sense. This could be a move, right? Well, didn't work out. Right now, he's going to Los Angeles Clippers. And again, the Clippers, I think that this makes the Clippers better, just like it would have made the Lakers better, in my opinion. Now, again, how much better does it make the Clippers is yet to be seen. I did a whole video on, does Bradley Beal make the Lakers a contender? Because there was this kind of running sentiment of if the Lakers sign Bradley Beal, that's it. Give them the championship trophy now. And I said, hold on a second, right? Again, you look at this Lakers team. Does Bradley Beal make the Lakers better? Absolutely. But to what level does he make the Lakers better? Right? Lakers don't really need more offense. They need more defense. Right? They need two-way guys. But again, it's just it defaults to he's so cheap and on such a great contract for the type of player he is, you don't turn that down if that becomes an option. You make that happen and then you figure it out and you can still go make the moves and do all the other stuff in order to do that. But now you solve either your bench problem or your starting problem, whatever, right? So obviously to Bradley Beal, he looked at the Clippers. Hey, I can slot in, be a starter right out the gate. There's none of this fluff or anything like that or me having to compete with anybody. Right? I get why Bradley Beal chose the Clippers. It made the most sense, right? Talked about on several occasions that the Clippers are one of those teams that make the most sense for Bradley Beal. But again, to what level does it raise the ceiling? I still need to see, right? Again, how does he fit in alongside James Harden, alongside a Kawhi Leonard, as far as fit? How much is he going to have to play on ball compared to, or how much he's going to have to play off ball compared to on ball, right? How are these factors going to take place? So there's a lot that the Clippers are still going to have to figure out, but to pretend this doesn't make them better, it would just be a lie, right? This clearly makes them better, as it would have made the Lakers better. It's unfortunate. Sucks. Really wanted Bradley Beal on the Lakers. I thought that there was a real chance to get him. Obviously, again, I'm not an insider. I'm not anybody. I'm just a fan. Right? But like I said, I weighed the options and I said that the Clippers are probably one of the better selections. I just hope that the desire to play with the Lakers would have kind of outweighed that. And Bradley Beal kind of being like, let me get to the Lakers and I'll figure it out. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Well, what do the Lakers do now? Well, now I think you pivot to some of the other options. I think now that Bradley Beal's off the table, right? And I made an entire video about this because I thought that this was important for this result, right? I said that I thought that the Lakers should have went already and went and got a DeAnthony Melton or a Malcolm Brogdon or somebody like that. And then if Bradley Beal wants to come, you figure out how to get him here. Right? Like, so again, if you have to waive a Jordan Goodwin, go bring in a Malcolm Brogdon or a DeAnthony Melton or something like that. And now you're in that position to go make a play, go make a move to where, if Bradley Beal does become available and he does want to be a Lakers, okay, or be a Laker, then you go and figure that out. Right? But now what happens is Bradley Beal goes and chooses the Clippers. And now all the teams that wanted Bradley Beal, right, which was like a handful of teams, all of them are going to pivot to who's the next option, right? Joshua Okogie, DeAnthony Melton, right? You start going down the list of guys. All of those teams are now going to pivot to those guys, which makes it that much harder for the Lakers to get. But if you would have gone to a guy like a DeAnthony Melton and been like, hey, do you want to be a Laker, yes or no? Right? Oh, what about Bradley? Who cares about Bradley Beal right now? Bradley Beal's not available right now. You're available. Let's get you on the Lakers in the purple and gold. If you do something like that, then now again, you kind of solve a major need. It wouldn't have hurt to have a DeAnthony Melton and a Bradley Beal. I mean, that could have been your point guard and your two guard, and now it would have made it more digestible to trade a Gabe Vincent. Now you could have looked to trade a Gabe Vincent, right? So again, like to me, it was like, go and sign that guy, and then if you don't land Bradley Beal, you're fine. You still got this, but you're not fighting with everyone else to kind of lure that guy here, where now you're in that position. So I kind of wanted the Lakers to get ahead of that rather than now they're in the position that they're in. So that to me is a little disappointing. Now I know people are going to be upset that the Lakers didn't land Bradley Beal and that, it's all, again, it wasn't a necessity. It wasn't something that the Lakers had to do. It's not like, oh, the Lakers didn't get Bradley Beal, that's it. Lakers are cooked. Like, no, again, it would have made the Lakers better, but there was questions of how much better, and then also the fit. Like, where does he fit in? Where does he slot in? You're not closing games with Luka, Austin Reeves, and Bradley Beal. You're not. You're too small. There's no defense. You already have that issue, right? So it would have been a hurdle that the Lakers would have had to figure out. Now, if the Lakers would have traded Austin Reeves, problem solved. Turn Austin Reeves into that starting caliber 3-and-D guy. Slot Bradley Beal into the 2. Okay, now you're talking. Now for the Clippers. Again, yes, they continue to get better, and it's frustrating. But again, Lakers have gotten better too. To what scale? Is the Clippers that much better than the Lakers now? I don't know. Again, maybe. It's very possible. Right? Again, you look at the roster, and on paper, it's ridiculous. But the roster last year looked ridiculous. And they were, a play-in team, or nearly a play-in team, right? Like, so, again, like, I don't know how that's going to work out. How is James Harden and Bradley Beal going to hold up health-wise, playoff-wise, right? Everyone talks about the Lakers having a terrible defensive backcourt, right, with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Well, what are the Clippers? Right? Like, let's not pretend like the Clippers are now this like super elite defensive front court. Like one of the reasons the Clippers were good when they were good was because of their defense. Well, now they're more heavy on the offensive side of things in their starting unit. So now they're going to have to trickle in and figure out defense. So again, I don't know. I'm not saying Clippers might be the best team in basketball next year. I don't know. But I'm not going to just write them in as like, oh, lock it in. That's it. They're the best. And again, we need to wait and see, what do the Lakers do? How do they finish this out? What players do they bring in? What trades do they make, if any? Right, Brett Siegel, I have a whole video breaking that down, which I'm going to post later now. But Brett Siegel even said that he's confident in saying that the Lakers roster right now is not going to be the roster come training camp. So we're still, 2.5, 3 months away from training camp. A lot can still unfold. A lot can still unravel. Right now, I know people are going to be like, well, Tyler, it's just because you're optimistic and you're always trying to look at again, I'm disappointed. Like, I don't want to pretend and sit up here. I talked about Bradley Beal so much being a Laker. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, well, we never needed him. No, I would have loved to have him. Right. But I don't know if he would have been the difference maker. Like, I even said in the video where I broke down, does Bradley Beal make the Lakers a contender? And I said in that video that if you're somebody that already thinks the Lakers are a contender, then Bradley Beal's just a cherry on top. That's the thing that puts you over. If you're somebody that doesn't believe the Lakers are currently a contender, then Bradley Beal's not going to change your mind because it's just more of the same for what the Lakers have. Now, that doesn't mean that couldn't, if it works, that doesn't make it better. But again, I don't know. We would have had to see how that worked. Just like we still have to see. Lakers might be the best team in all of basketball. I still think they're going to have the best offense in all of basketball. They're going to be ridiculous. Who knows? I don't know. I have to wait and see before I can properly break down an analysis. I can make an argument for, I can make an argument against, right? For why the Lakers will be great and why they won't. But what I see is a team that's going to be probably the best offense or one of the top offenses in basketball, which means they're probably going to win 55 games, and they're probably going to be anywhere from a 2 to 5 seed, depending on, injuries and various things, knock on wood, hopefully nothing major. But this sucks. But what's the next move for the Lakers? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.